Hello and welcome all. This is Dice of Ages presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame, episode 57, Reachbound and Down. Without further ado, let's get into the recap of the previous episode. Irmgrim ushers Argus to a more cloistered venue in order to discuss some personal matters in private. Veiled in the shadow of both an alley and vengeful trauma, the Durgar Princeps tells the tale of how he came to be imprisoned by the Conclave. Irmgrim's sister was captured by Steercrag hunters and used as bait to lure her brother out. Ambushed by the twisted hunters, the heir to Grimdurbar is forced to watch his sister's gruesome death at their hands. Logrin, the now current Lord of Steercrag, and the Vogel champion were among the hunters. The Dorkennen Rai appear soon after, thanking them for their service and promising their rewards in due time, as Irmgrim is spirited away to the secret prison. The Mid-Might heir promises to take his revenge several times over, and to that end, requests that Argus teach him how to bring people back to life, only to commit them to death again and again. Argus tentatively and hesitantly agrees and promises to help, with the possibility of resurrecting the sister in the back of his mind. Irmgrim is also convinced that the Stoneworm line must end, as he plans to do the same to Chiron. Argus convinces him to wait and assess if that is necessary, for now. The two followers of Kossuth swap knowledge on the subject of religion, Argus learning more about the High Immolets and the origins of the Keepers of the Flames. The Blue Flame Keeper explains that the Primordials were once the major pantheon of Vontiria before their extermination at the hands of the current deific pantheon during the Dawn War. The Divine Compromises and the Divine Gate are lightly touched on before the Durgar defers to meet with the local High Immolet for more information. Afterward, the whole gang eventually meet back at the Bone and Brine to discuss their next move and meet with Chiron. A hairless Tabaxi monk is unexpectedly encountered there, who was also hired by Chiron for the same job. There are questions about why and how Chiron is here, as well as those on the legitimacy of his claim and pedigree. After being convinced to divulge information on the gracious host and that set him on this path, the young dwarf gives an aspiring speech in which he claims his destiny and the purposes of Just In Case. Welcome back to CrestVahllen. And we're back. Welcome back. Dice of Ages or something. God damn it.
Or something.
Welcome back. Last we left off, you guys were having a talk with Chiron Stoneworm / Carrig, finding out some, why he's here and how he got here and who his sponsor may be. You guys have some time unless you guys want to go now.
Do you have time for a spell or not?
I could do something. Could totally do something if we're... we don't have to be hasty, guys. If you want to hang out here a little bit, if we were planning to go anyway, it could take a couple hours and get rid of some of this paper.
Irmgrim, how long does it take to find a worm?
On purpose?
Yeah.
You have any... Well, we both have thaumaturgy, right?
Yeah. Me too.
Probably not.
Just go make a bunch of noise in a tunnel.
Go down
somewhere.
deep enough, make a bunch of noise. Have any explosives?
I got fireballs.
It doesn't really make a whole lot of noise as much as it just incinerates things for a flash of a
He doesn't have Thunderwave anymore, does he?
I can make noise.
Yeah, I can shove things and push things.
It really just comes down to luck, but with a death wish and a lot of noise, we could probably find one decently. If we're going to go down, the best way to go down would be via the breach, the reaching breach. The fastest.
How does everyone else feel about that?
Is that going to make us suspicious? If the town guards see us walking that direction?
Given the current circumstance, if anything, it'll just raise a flag being, hey, the game is on, the trials are starting. But we'll have a head start because we'll be the first ones down there. Right now, from what I've heard and witnessed about you doing all your stuff around, people, it's a bit helter-skelter, and people are not being quite so organized. So And there's like that kind of like people are waiting on the edge and not sure if they're going to jump yet, so none of the clans have really initiated any of the trials because I assume most of them are waiting for their assured support before they actually go forward with the next step of, vote of no confidence, overthrowing that whole thing. So we'd have an advantage. There may have the chance that people may take it as a word go. And we might run into others there that might either try to impede our progress or maybe not. I don't know.
Is there any way we can get there without people noticing?
I mean, we could try to sneak, but I mean, it's a military installation. I've snuck through it once or twice. I can't say those holes are still there, though.
Is anyone here particularly stealthy?
Okay. I mean, I can go invisible.
Well, that definitely helps.
But not anymore today.
That does not help.
The other thing is they have the penal workers working there almost all the time, working to try to seal up the breach as much as they can, to try to bottleneck forces in order for the outposts there to, at the top of the breach, to have a better, more advantage on, funneling forces, invading forces. So, if you're worried about innocence, if we were trying to, force our way through, they might be collateral.
We can't do that. We can't hurt any of them.
Alright. Well, it was that idea then. So it's either sneaking or we just go.
I think we should just go.
Leaving the border of Steercrag is easy, not too difficult. You'll be like, oh, who are you? Okay, whatever. If you're going down there for a Death Wish or you're going hunting, sure, whatever, that's fine. We just want your name or whatever, so if you don't come back when you think you're gonna come back, after a month, we can contact your loved ones and say, we don't know what happened. They're missing in action. They're probably presumed dead. That kind of thing. Coming back is a lot more difficult because it's kind of a bit of a barred situation. The whole purpose of the Reaching Breach, or at least the outpost of Steercrag, is to be a fortification against things coming out of the Reaching Breach. I mean, of course, then again, that might be a little bit more lax if it's understood that the race is on, or the trials is on, because then all of Steercrag will be expecting people back.
But isn't there plenty of ways to get back up?
Sure, yeah.
We don't have to go through the breach.
No, I think it's just one of you mentioned you wanted to make a spectacle out of it. Oh yes, that would be great to make a spectacle.
We can try
you said
the
you
worm, right?
wanted to bring the head back up. Wouldn't it be cool if the purple worm head came up and then and people thought it was a real purple worm and then it just slumped and then I came out from on top of it all triumvirately.
We are going to have to stop and buy a saw.
Triumphant, I believe, is the word you're looking for.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you,
buy
Dr.
a saw
Hercules, I'm back.
log.
I mean, I feel bad enough getting your sword dirty, so we'll get a saw. We'll get a saw.
Yeah, let's get a saw before we leave.
More like a
definitely.
big bandsaw for a tree trunk.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
Nobody wants that.
You take that saw.
Is that what it's called, bandsaw?
No.
We got the idea though.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. This big fucking saw.
Yeah.
Big old.
But this thing is made of stone. Do you really think a saw is the best choice?
Well, that's what the other guy said he used.
It isn't my idea about cutting off the head. You know how it is. We just gotta support our friends.
Have we talked about
I spent a lot of time on those PDFs.
what might actually be inside the worm yet too? Like who lays dibs on that, etc.
Oh, right. I totally forgot. Because they make gems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They poop gems and stuff.
We've gone spelunking before.
No, he.
Good. I'm glad you're experienced. So
It says what you think it is.
I would request to have as part of the deal, as one who's paying you, if there are any opals, sapphires, or jets within the individuals, I only request a small handful of each, up to a handful. And if there's any more, they're all yours.
Then the price is going to go up for sure.
It's really I have to build my crown out of it if it works, you know.
That's fine.
You got little hands. I mean,
Yeah, I got little hands.
The price is still going to go up.
I mean,
You can come in there with me.
Oh, okay.
You're laying claim.
he's-
Think about the grandeur of the story.
depends.
with,
He's like going in and
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
all the work. The price is going to
Get a
go
little,
up.
little bruised up, little couple scratches. Show it, put up a good
You
fight.
built your own
Exactly.
crown.
Some of that.
You built your
slime
own
on
crown. You
well,
know.
with enough money, I
Rock
bet
stone.
you.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
bet
wait, no,
you.
that's Vogel.
We could make you a crown.
it was good.
Okay, cool.
You know, I bet you Boots and
I
me
also
could
need
make
to
you
know,
a
like-
really cool crown with
For
enough
sure,
money.
I just need something like symbolic, but also something practical that I can contribute to the treasury if I should end up being in power, because I don't want to end up being a figurehead that has nothing to give to taxes and government funding. So that's all I request, just a little bit of that.
Okay.
Granted, if I have to pay you for that too, then it ends up being
It's
a
just going to go
zero-sum
up a
game.
little bit.
Oh,
He's a master
How much are you thinking?
He's a master.
I'm not
craftsman,
sure
right?
yet. We haven't just.
Yeah.
Well, let us just go.
I believe we talked. It was 100 platinum for the full of it, something like that. Right?
That's just killing the one that doesn't include all the stuff inside it.
Right. That's what we're talking about.
The agreed upon. Remind me, what was the agreed upon? It was in your notes.
It
I looked at
was. It was 100 platinum
100 platinum for the kill.
for the kill.
Yep.
And you,
That was for the kill. Now you're wanting one of our partners to go in and get gems.
I'd be willing to go in there with you.
No,
for
that's okay.
How good are you at mining?
And have you ever done so from the inside of a creature?
I have.
He hasn't.
I have drawn up deeds for mines.
that's not
not
exactly
talking
the
about
same.
big
And
So
I've
that's
done a bit
a
of
no?
urban planning to make sure the mines don't collapse.
So that's a no.
Have
Can I
you
point to
used
him?
a
Mhm.
pickaxe?
A pickaxe? Yes.
Have you picked one up?
Yes.
Have you swung it at a vein of gem or gold?
No, but I swung it at an individual who was talking badly about my mother,
Did you hit them?
and I didn't know my mother, so. What?
Did it hit or did it miss? Or did you just bounce off them?
That's not important. I don't think.
It's nice.
It'll just be a little bit
think
more.
you need an expert to do these things.
Really, all you're looking for is a small handful of a couple of gem types, if they exist.
I
Yes,
think he just wants us to
specifically
make him a
sapphire,
crown.
jet, and opal, if available, because of the symbology behind the stone. They're the stone worm stones, so, you know.
And everything else we could.
Boots, don't be nice.
Anything else that would be inside it, we could lay claim to it and split it equally amongst our party. Yes.
Of course, you keep what you kill.
Fantastic.
It's the stone
And
worm motto.
Are we worried about which layer this guy's coming from in relation to everything?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Did you
tell
say that
Beth.
out loud?
Just taking his money is still an option.
I totally said it out loud, but not in the way that you would understand what I mean by that.
No, I'm like, huh.
Hey, I'm trying
Cole's
to
like,
score
I
as
don't
much as
know
we
what you're
can
talking
for us.
about.
We need money. So I'm trying to score as much money as we can on one lick. I'm trying to make the big lick.
What kind of addendum payment are you?
Just don't worry about it for right now.
Okay. You sure?
We're-
You're not gonna.
Remember, experienced spelunker and master craftsman with. See, he makes fabulous jewelry.
I'd be willing to
So
offer you an
it's,
extra 10%.
Okay.
Down
So
payment
it's-
before,
it's 10%
regardless of
of
how
100.
much you find. That doesn't change.
Okay.
Agreed?
That's fair.
So 110 platinum
Okay.
That's fine.
for 3 handfuls.
I've sat
you
down
said-
on the floor and started bending
If-
some
if that's
wire into
available.
a nose clip.
That's pretty good.
He learned.
Makes sense.
I actually would be the best one to go in there.
Right, because you don't.
You? Oh yeah, you can't smell.
I can't smell.
Until I get that spell.
Yes. Yay.
It's like, and just so you know, it doesn't smell, because remember last time you were there, it doesn't smell like
fun
poop as much as it smells like rotting carcasses or like digesting carcasses, and then like that smell of pennies and metallics in the air. You know, that kind of smell?
Yeah.
That's the kind of smell that you get out of it most, because rather than like poop and defecation, it smells...
It's not eating organic materials.
It's turning
eating
organic
rock.
materials into rock and metals, so...
All right. Do we have any reason to stick around? How long do you need if you were able to do anything?
I mean,
Too much of a day?
I will take as much time as you need. I can adapt to what I need to work
I'm asking you how
Enough
much
time to
time
go
you
buy
need.
a saw.
Yeah, because I mean, if she's saying that she needs time, if T needs time, let's give her the time. Let's get the saw. I can say a prayer before we go. Do you have anything that you need to do?
I mean,
That's fine.
I mean, it
I
can
can
be
take
short.
the time to draw up the new agreement. And if any of you need last will and testaments to be left with the this Deer Crag guard when we leave, I'd be happy to draw those up as well.
make sure you make one for yourself.
Exactly.
Yes, already done. I understand that I could die at any moment, but it's worth the risk because destiny calls.
You should list us as beneficiaries. Just,
I agree with him.
In case I die,
Yeah.
but shouldn't I leave that to my surviving stonewormkin instead?
No, because
They're not going to know.
Yeah.
Are they aware that you're going on this mission? Probably not, so it calls sufficient,
Do
right?
your Stoneworm Kim know who you are?
Oh, that's a good point.
Right.
Yeah, so,
Technically, it's a coup from the inside.
It
yeah,
is.
so that's why it would be
You need to-
safer to list us as the beneficiaries.
And we'll distribute the money as
How
we
about
see
I do this?
necessary.
I leave it to you under the rider of a trust. Whereas if you discern that the stoneworm that is currently in power other than me is worthy of and is of good, sound mind and body and like of good moral standing and is good enough to rule, then you can give the money to them as it should
Wondering
be.
if you're aware that they've kind of been set as a incompetent to rule.
Well, I was Destiny calls, and I don't.
You don't
I
always have to
understand
pick
that,
up the phone
but
when
I don't know them
Destiny calls.
personally. Okay,
We're good. Let's go.
I know law and politics. Okay,
Good. How do you know about the relationship?
how about
with-
this? Whether it's a stoneworm or not, because I want it to go to the people. So,
Okay.
how about I put it in a trust for you under your purview as what is not the what's the word? Not progenitors, not proctors. It's called the
Proprietors.
people that are in charge of a trust.
The executors.
The
the
executors
estate.
of that trust to put it back into the state of Steercrack, whether that mean funding orphanages or bakeries or that, and that way it doesn't.
Or, hear me out here, you could probably put it...
Is that cold?
Yes. You could probably put it towards us. As I'm a bard of the Bardic College, you can trust me, you know. I don't know exactly what the argument
You
was
do a
here.
good job. You do a good job. Trisha,
To be fair, Kevin Colley would be
Because I am a bard. I am the best to execute because I'm a bard.
Sorry, Kevin.
No, it's okay.
I'm a trusted executioner. No, that's not it. Executive. That's the word, yes.
That's actually roll persuasion check plus 11.
That's 11.
I'm just going to use not a...
You wanna touch my
Where's
dice? What are you
where's the
doing with it?
D20?
Well, they're all in my
Oh,
box.
okay.
Do you want not one of his?
Yeah.
I
You've
just
got
rolled a
something.
1 with him.
Got something funky going on. All right, 25.
25.
That's cool, by the way.
No, I like this
Well.
one. This is the cat one.
Yep.
That's not a bad idea. I could put it under a trust with you as executor, as long as you
what
promise
we
that
do.
half, as long as you promise that half the trust goes towards the Bardic College, to fund more
Which
literary
college?
pursuits, and half of it goes towards the betterment of Steercrag in any way that you see fit.
Sounds great.
Obviously, hopefully, none of
Why, y'all? Why?
Because
we want it.
That's right. Here's why.
Because it's awesome.
Obviously, hopefully, none of this will come to pass, and it won't be anything because I'll
No,
be
of course not.
victorious.
Of course.
We'll be victorious.
Yes.
Because just like, should I kill this guy?
Do we all?
We're talking about the gems within the worm too.
Like,
There's
damn.
additional money involved.
Holy shit. Should I kill this guy?
Logically. Wait.
Wait a minute. I mean, Heiko's chaotic neutral, so.
Do you say, do I kill this guy out loud?
No.
Okay.
I said Hika's thinking it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
If we're talking, that sounds perfect. I'll draw up the paperwork right now.
He was gonna draw up the paperwork. You
Well,
wouldn't do anything.
I'll help you draw up the
Okay.
paperwork by signing my name.
Who? Also think about whose money this actually is.
Sorry.
It's Emerson.
That's outstanding.
It's Emmy's. Emmy Tockrand.
Just in case.
Just in
Here's
case.
Kyron. Oh, we killed him. And took his money. But thanks anyway.
We tried.
We just found all of our other ideas were flawed, and the one out we had, we killed him too. So
Well, who's to say it's coming from Emerson to
Who
help
still
us
has
versus
your
Emerson?
families?
yeah.
Right.
No, he doesn't. Mine ran away.
So there's a couple things I can do. If there's one thing that's what's gonna take the longest, but taking about 8 hours. But I think I can finally get that scroll of fabricates done, and we could turn whatever we find in the worm into things, so you don't have to do like processing and smelting and stuff like that. If we wanted to do that,
If we found some adamantine.
right? Or the thing
Probably
that we've
the
got.
only other way, other than actually smelting it at the Great Forge, would be via the spell Fabricate to reorient. That's fucking genius. That is the only spell that would do anything to it.
Because it's not turning it into something like it's not turning it into jewelry. It's just turning it
And
into
it's
like
also
ingots or
it's
something.
raw,
right?
so it's not worked yet. So Fabricate would work on it. As soon as it's like worked and like been sealed and like forged, then Fabricate wouldn't affect it anymore
Mm-hmm.
because it's has innate magical properties preventing that type of stuff. So that's insane. Fuck. I really hope you don't roll well and get a bunch of adamantine. That would suck. That would break my fucking campaign.
I like how Hika's just casually chilling in your guys' party right now.
in a
learning a
room
lot.
Like,
too.
literal,
You're definitely learning a lot about us.
Yeah.
like Hika's just kind of like quietly, just like,
It's like the cat in the side of the room that no one's paying
yeah,
attention
yeah.
to.
This is the tattoo logs. It's like things he might know what something's going on with, but there's a little bit of.
Yeah, Hika's mostly looking at Trisheni.
So, are you guys okay with staying for that long, or do you? I know it's a long time.
For 8 hours?
It's 8 hours,
And what time is it now?
Noon.
like
Noonish.
noonish,
Ooh.
one-ish. So we'd still be leaving at night.
Was that the plan?
That was the original plan, but again, it's
I don't know if
I
it
just-
matters.
I have to have.
Right,
Does it
right, 'cause
matter
we're gonna be-
what time? When are the worms most active? Are they nocturnal creatures? Do they actually have a time frame? Does
Doesn't
it matter?
down here.
Right.
Roll a nature check for me on that.
I asked him, not me.
You asked Ermgrim? Oh.
I rolled a 2.
Hold on. Let me get closer to my mic. I have to get some water.
I asked someone who would know, not me.
Definitely wouldn't.
I gotta stop using this one. I rolled 2 1s and a 2.
Yeah, that means.
Well, I have to roll a nature check for him then because this is
Yes.
some deep cut knowledge.
I mean, does it matter?
As far as I know, I don't think they sleep ever.
Okay.
But I mean, I've never seen a sleeping purple worm. Have you?
I mean, I've only seen the one I've killed.
That sounds badass.
Sounds like the long sleep. It's a little different. Okay.
It's just I'm afraid otherwise I might not have that length of time of just being able to concentrate. You know, if we're on the road,
Yeah.
it's okay. mean, that'll make us a lot of money later.
All right, so what are you doing?
What do you guys want to do? We waiting 8 hours or we going now?
I'm fine waiting.
Okay.
If it gets us fabricate,
I'm
that'll make this
I'm
much
fine
more
waiting.
lucrative.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be quick. We just do our thing and then we can go. So I'm fine waiting.
Okay.
You guys want to
Yes,
go to
get a
bed,
saw.
or do you want to? Wait, are you just waiting 8 hours and then going this evening?
I'm gonna go buy a saw.
Okay. So you guys aren't resting. You're just
It's
doing
like noon.
stuff. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's like noon.
Yeah,
No, our
it's
char-
noon-ish. Like it's like 1 p.m. Yeah, noon-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
you guys are
characters-
trying to leave like by 9 p.m. or something like that.
We
yeah.
just haven't been up that long.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
So I'm going to rest. I'm going to say a prayer too before we go.
Yeah, you guys can all short rest. I guess actually some of you, since it is 8 hours, no, because it hasn't been 24 hours since the last time you rested.
Right.
But you guys can take short rest. Yes. Go ahead. You gonna say a prayer?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, this is before we go. We're just deciding what to do. We're
Can I
gonna.
get the little
Oh, you wanna
cup,
say a
I
prayer
guess?
After the
Do you
8
have
hours.
that extra
Is it-
special
I
amount of
mean,
coffee?
do you
Closer
want
to around
that, or do
time,
you want
Copper's
to
to go. Besides,
have
I'll just
a
chill.
spell that I could use later during a fight? What do you think is more important? I'll enhance ability on your intelligence.
Yeah, that's. Sorry.
Nope.
This is the one-time
Nope.
thing.
Nope.
I can do it for you
Oh, okay.
if you need the spell for something.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if we're fighting a purple worm, being able to.
My spells suck anyways in combat, so
Okay.
I'll help.
Zemdex says out loud.
I just suck at combat.
Yeah.
My spells in combat are not that great.
My Magitech is a little subpar.
My tech is great. My like straight spells in combat are not good.
But you like flavor your spells as using your tech, don't you? So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. It's not quite the 5-hour energy drink isn't quite the same as the coffee, but still.
That's all.
All right, so we're doing okay. So is there anything else other than buying a saw? I'll get to that in a moment. I'm not going to.
Role play.
Yeah,
You can
so-
just go to Candy Canaries and get a saw.
Right, yeah.
No problem. No problem.
if you're going out shopping, I want to go with you.
Okay.
I want to see if I can find another bag of holding
Yeah.
somewhere in town.
You want to open up a portal to the astral sea?
No,
No, I want to see if someone is selling.
Yeah, I know, but 2 bags of holding. I know what that.
I'm not
That's
going
only
to
if
put
you
one
put 'em
inside
in
the other.
one.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
I'm
it
just-
is. But I know your shenanigans.
As a traveling tinker, I need piles and piles of
That's
junk,
true.
and I
Okay.
don't have any more space.
Okay, good luck. Okay, I'll get to that in a moment.
Understood.
Hika, is there anything you'd like to do?
I think Hika is just kind of like overwhelmed by the amount of information I learned about these strangers.
Valid. Are you chilling here? Are you gonna go do stuff? Or
I think Hika is just gonna go back down to the bar and just kind of sit and just kind of think.
Okay, cool. I'll get to you in a moment. Don't let me forget about you. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to you because you are in a. I'm gonna have something for you. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Somebody enhanced abilities on Trisheni while she spends 8 hours transcribing
Whee!
Fabricate.
And guidance?
He's enhanced ability, so I can guidance.
Technically, that's true.
What do you
And
want
they're
to do?
both concentration.
Yeah, I know.
which
It's
is
just
why
it's
you
like
can't,
guidance spell that
I-
lasts for 10.
If I sat
for
there and just
8
constantly
hours.
casted it on her,
I guess you could. You want to spend the 8 hours casting cantrips on her?
what else am I gonna do?
I'll say if you do that, yes, she can. She
Oh,
can.
there we go. Thank you.
I don't want to be too crunchy about it. It's just like
Thank you.
it's tapping her and be like, "Good luck on the next sentence." Is more like what, and then
You
running
missed
off.
that
But yeah.
period there.
That's-
Like,
It's like casually
reading.
reading over her
Yeah.
shoulders. Like, wait.
He's playing with his fire, and he's like creating a warmth and ambiance around her.
I'm sorry, am I in your light? I'll move it over.
29.
I mean, that's you know if it's a success or
Yeah,
not. Not me.
that's a
So,
success.
There you go. That's a success.
Yeah.
So I need to
Just wanna
give you
make
a
sure
scroll now, don't I?
lose
Yep.
it.
Completely, yeah, a scroll, because that's very, very sad.
Fabricate.
Well, we lost one
Do
of them.
you have the scroll yet or no? I need to give it to you, right?
You need to give it to me. I
Which one
think
did we lose?
we lost.
Web?
We lost something. We lost grease. You had grease, so it was okay. Like that was one of the best outcomes, honestly. But
Wait, you
it was still.
the scroll, or
Yeah,
we burned it.
that was before we started doing enhance ability.
I
and she
actually
rolled
do
that
have
one.
fabricate. I'm sorry, I lied, TJ.
you do have it?
I do have it. After 8 hours.
That was the one you failed on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make this, and it's so pretty. Pass it around.
Oh, my kilt. Okay. I understand, like, wearing skirts, always having to do, like, that hand under the thing when you sit down. God,
Just be careful on the toilet. That's all I'm saying. Sorry.
Okay.
Just,
Okay, so that's a success.
How
You
many
now
times
have
I've had to
fabricate.
hold dresses now. It's just
It's 4th level spell, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's why it's taking.
So here's the deal. Because you're casting guidance all the time, you don't get a short rest. Fair?
For what?
Okay. Okay, whatever. I'm just.
You haven't done Radiance of the.
I haven't done anything.
The rest
where
of
a
you
short
can
rest
get a
is
short
needed.
rest if you like. I don't think any of you really used any abilities that
Nope.
nobody really. The only people that really gain stuff from a short rest are the warlock and the wizard.
I gained my holy stuff. I used it.
You didn't use
My
it.
channel divinities.
You didn't use it. So it's not
why I
really
didn't
no big deal. And you don't. And the wizard doesn't get a short rest because she's spending the whole 8 hours doing that. So you could get a saw, easy, done, peasy. You stop by Kannik and Harry. She's like, "Oh, hello," and you get a saw, and she gives you a saw. And like, what kind of big saw, little saw, hacksaw?
I mean, it's something
one
that
for
looks
the
like it
purple
could take off a purple worm's head.
All right,
I don't
you.
know how you're planning on bringing these back.
Oh yeah, we need a cart too.
No.
You're coming with him, so you have the bag of holding.
Like.
How many rotate do you think we need
You still would have
to take the head
hard time.
back?
I don't know if the head would. I don't know.
What if they're dragging it? So he's got like a sledge, and then they're just pulling it.
What do you think? It would fit in the back of a cart with like 2 rote? I don't know how that stuff works.
Well, you're smarter than me.
The problem is,
I've never worked in a caravan,
though.
though.
No. You might. I don't know what your backstory.
It's called a crosscut saw. 2-man crosscut saw.
Oh, the giant for like.
Like a big logging saw?
Yeah. So you could get that into the bag of holding if you want. She'll sell one to you. It's a little rusted, but it's
Impressive.
workable.
How much gold?
Exactly.
You're
What?
good to
How
go.
much gold?
I'd say like
That's all.
3 gold for that thing.
Expensive.
Just because of the amount of metal involved in making it. And most likely it had to be imported down from Donderal, because that's where they cut the big mushroom forest, because there are no trees down here. So
It's kind of weird that she has one in general.
Speaking of,
she has a lot of weird stuff.
my current ability to carry things with me as a traveling tinker is a little bit limited. Do you know anyone
Okay.
here in town that sells perhaps a bag like this that's bigger on the inside, or a trunk, or
Calicanicious may have something for you.
oh really?
I'm trying out the third person. How does he sound?
It works for you.
The second
Mysterious.
person or third person?
Third person.
Third person. That's correct. May have something for you. Ooh. But there's some night quests. Maybe. Let me check. I'm more into the ticket. You do the flabberty googly hoodoo hoodoo stuff. It's not really my bag. It's more of like the clickety click clack click stuff. So
Yes.
maybe hold on. Maybe I have something. Okay. Hold on. And she disappears.
Is the bird still on the counter?
The tweeter?
Yeah.
It is in the cage with the other bird, with the other mechanical bird, like the big cage.
She disappeared.
Yes, you wanted that.
Well,
I'll let her keep her bird.
I was thinking about it though.
I spelled this wrong. Okay, she leaves and comes back with a box. Big 6-sided cube box, about like yay big. About
Okay.
like 6 inches in diameter, 6 inches cubed.
So that's not really that big. That's a tiny box.
Mhm.
And,
I made one at one point, but I think I got it.
and what does this do?
It's a folding box.
Okay.
It folds.
It folds.
Space.
Okay. How do you get things into it?
You say, oh, what's the word? Bibbidi bobbidi? No, that's not it. No, it's not the word. Oh, shoot. I forgot. Oh. I'll sell it to you anyway, and you can figure it out.
Okay.
How about that?
Yep, that works.
Great. Wonderful. All I know is it gets bigger, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces you can put things into.
So it gets bigger, you put stuff in, and it shrinks
Well,
back
like
down?
it unfolds.
Yep.
Like a box.
You put stuff
And you
in,
can put stuff on each face,
and then fold
and
it
then
back
it
up.
folds back up and gets small again.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times is she going to sell you her box?
At least twice, apparently.
This one at least folds.
I still haven't figured out the other one, so...
God damn it. It is,
Yeah.
I've become at a loss to how to react at this point. Okay, so how about mystery box? Ooh, 300 gold.
For a box that you don't have the answer
Or
to.
stuff. You got stuff? I'd rather have stuff.
250.
250. What about stuff? 250 and stuff. What you got?
I already gave you stuff.
I want more stuff. This is a new thing. I'm giving you stuff. You give me
know.
stuff. Don't you understand?
I
This relationship is transactional.
I just started my journey. I don't have that much stuff, and if I keep giving it away, I won't have any stuff. I like stuff just as much.
Very nice as well. That's not my problem. You want my stuff? You gotta give me stuff. That's how it works.
Just
Boots, you know what she wants.
I don't think that's what she wants.
Stop it. Stop, you strange man.
I just want stuff for a box.
Oh my god.
You did make her thirsty last session. You really did.
Regretting it now. Demetrius look at me like, you piece of shit.
You did make her thirsty.
Don't you have stuff?
I don't really have much stuff left.
What do you have? Don't you have stuff?
I got a rusty box full of hands. Box for a box.
A rusty box full of hands?
Yeah.
Mechanical hands or fleshy hands?
They're kind of more of a goo at this point. They've been out for a while.
What kind of hands?
Smooth hands.
Calendar hand?
Yeah.
They were.
What?
They were at one point. They were a part of Smooth Hands.
Are the bones still
Oh my god.
there?
Oh yeah. They're still
I
there.
can use the bones.
Okay. You want the
They're
box
great
too?
for flexible like gears and bits and bobbles and stuff.
You want the box too, or just the bones?
I mean, if I don't have to touch the goo, if you just give me the box would be great.
Right, box for a box.
That's 250 and the box.
I mean, if we're giving you stuff too, I want a discount, so 200.
You did have a discount. It was 300. Now it's 250. What is it? Don't try this from me. I
Are
might
you
not always
sure
be-
you don't want to give it for
You're here. Oh my God, where did you come from?
I've been here the whole time. I've just been somewhere else.
I love you're just giving Cole your Shetty's accent.
She almost had it that time.
He does a dwarvish accent, which is wild. to
I
me.
know I'm trying.
It's a Gaelic accent. It's like
Which is why I
Fine.
had to not have an accent, because he started talking first, and I was like, okay. Not having the same accent.
oh
I'm
no,
done.
no. Right, that's why you chose Argus not to have one.
Yep.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Fine, 250 and hands.
Deal. Deal. She reaches out her like half, like clockwork hand to you. And does one of these.
Deal. All right. That's pretty good. All right.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to wash these off and make sure the flesh-eating beetles have a feast this evening.
They're gonna love it.
Yes.
They've
Nobody I
always
know.
been towards tools, so it's a good thing.
Nobody I know.
Probably not.
But
Oh, okay, great. That's fine.
Nice.
Great. Well, it was great to be able to get a hand from you guys.
More than one.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Enjoy the box and the
He
saw.
will.
Anything else? No.
Where do they sell rote?
Rote. Oh, the beast of burden.
Yeah, in a cart.
You might want to check out the stables at the edge of town. Maybe.
Okay.
Bye. And you just hear the tweeter go, bye. Bye. As you open the door to leave. All right. We're getting to your prayer later. You guys are all done. Hika. Okay.
Yes.
Do me a favor. Roll me. What is your passive perception?
18.
18. Okay. In this instance, I also want you to. I'm gonna consider that, but I also want you to roll me a perception check.
That's a 17.
17. Okay, still
No,
pretty
less than that.
less than that.
Sorry, I thought that was a 9, but I looked at it again, and it was a 6.
14.
So, 14.
14. Okay. Okay. So you are downstairs. I don't know, having a drink, milling about, just relaxing, maxing all cool down in the tavern at the Bone and
Waiting for
Brian.
us.
Just kind of waiting, decompressing a little bit, kind of
Yeah.
digesting everything that's happened. You, because you have such a high passive perception, witness two things. One, you witness a group of individuals. Looks like, they're just coming in, possibly mercenaries, possibly not, you're not quite sure. Some of them have armor, some of them don't. Come in and sit down at a table. They all kind of exchange looks at each other. Nothing too suspicious. They aren't wearing any clan and sigils that you're familiar with. As far as for how long have you been in this town? For a couple days, maybe a week or so.
Not long.
Not even that long. So you have a very, very, very basic layman's understanding about what's going on about this whole clan thing, but it's not really any of your business, and you don't really. I doubt you're too invested in it. But you don't notice a lot of people kind of some are wearing badges of I support Vogel, I support Kereg, or I support Martanic, I support Stoneworm, or whatever. They don't have any of those. They sit down. They seem to be I don't want to say inconspicuous, but they just seem to be very concerned about making sure that the corner of their room is kind of cut off with their bodies around the table, just so that they have a little bit of their privacy. And they're just sitting down. One of the waiters comes by to see if they want any food or drink and everything, and they kind of just wave them off and being yeah, sure, whatever. They seem to be just whatever, sure, just get us some bread and some salt and some ale or whatever. I don't really care, because they seem to be in conversation. The other thing you notice is another individual walks in, kind of half cloaked. Looks like they know how to handle themselves. Armed, armor. Comes in very nonchalantly, walks over to the table, sits down, and makes sure they're in a spot near to the, not in the corner, but off to the side on part of the wall. Puts their back up against the wall in a chair, kind of leans back, and so they have full view of the door that comes in, the stairwell that goes up, and the bar. So they have view of everything in the room, and they just every once in a while look up, and they're just watching, sipping on their ale, milking it real hot. and they are just there, like watching, observing. And those are the two things you notice.
Can I go to move towards... So I'm at the bar right now, right?
Yeah, I assume that's where you want to be. Yeah.
Can I go to move towards like a table or something close by?
To
So they're like in a corner, right?
which one? The group or the individual?
The individual.
The individual. Yeah. If you'd like to, yeah. You
Not
wanna,
like kind of inconspicuously, just like...
Cool. You want to like nonchalantly find a table that's closer or adjacent to them?
Closer.
Closer. Okay. You
Just so I
like-
can get a closer look.
Got it. You decided you're done with the bar and you're gonna go sit down at a table.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll say because of how observant this individual is, and because they're making it a point to watch, I'm gonna say go ahead and roll stealth check to see how nonchalant and inconspicuous you can do this.
Terrible. 10.
10. Okay. You notice that they clock you,
Okay.
but they're clocking everybody, so that's not necessarily out of.
Yeah.
They for sure know where you are though.
Yeah. Can I roll another perception check on them to see if I get any distinguishing features on them?
Sure.
Now
Are
that
you
I'm
like
closer? I was just thinking like I was like a couple tables away, maybe like
He makes eye contact. You look back at him and give him a.
just
Up,
like a
down.
little nod of recognition, sort
okay,
of like
just being like, okay, what's up, dude? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Here's what I'm gonna say. I want to say investigation, but it's not investigation. But it's like not quite perception. Give me a little bit more. What exactly are you looking for?
I am just trying to figure out like, do I know you? Why are you here?
Okay, I'm gonna say that's insight.
Okay. Nat one, so 9.
Not familiar with this individual. You don't think you've ever met this person before. You don't really know why they're here, but the kind of vibe you're getting from them is that among quite a few of the other people here, they can handle themselves. They've probably seen combat before. They do have a scar that seems to be like partially hidden by some of their hair. But
Interesting.
I
Okay.
don't know who they are.
I'm gonna just kind of walk. I'm gonna like kind of like make like a sort of like okay sort of face as like a like okay. I guess you don't want to like talk.
Are you
to
down in
me.
the bar too?
Are you like coming up to them? Like
No, I
approaching
was
them?
just kind of like walking, kind of like you know how like when you like see someone that you're like walking like sort of and you like give them like kind of like a hey what's up and they don't really recognize you.
Oh, they just go.
Or like they kind of give you like a sort of thing.
Yeah, he
and
just
you're-
he's just like.
and you're kind of like, and you kind of walk away in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like
Sorry for
exactly.
trying to be friendly.
Awkward thing.
That's exactly what
You
Hika
got
does.
it.
Even though, like, I think in Hika's mind, he wasn't like, I wasn't trying to be friendly. I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with
Sure.
this dude. But Hika's trying to like play it off as like, oh, I was just trying to be friendly. So and make it like awkward and weird. So and so Hika goes in the opposite direction towards the group of people and kind of tries to do the exact same thing.
Fine, I'll leave you alone, man.
And just tries to like find a spot close to them and gets try to get a better like read as to why they're there and tries to get the same rolls on them of like why are these people here? Just
Sure. So you just try to do the same thing to the other group.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Cool. Are you trying to get close enough to like eavesdrop because they're fully in conversation? The other individual was not talking.
Sure.
Okay. So another stealth check for me.
That is a 21.
21. That's pretty darn good. They don't seem to notice you. They seem to be pretty involved in their conversation.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll. I'm going to say because go ahead and roll a perception check for me then there.
There's a 16?
16?
So, no. It's better than a 16. It is a 24.
24. Okay. You get among the noise pollution in the tavern, you get a couple little like snippets of things like if we don't act soon, we could end up being trampled literally and figuratively. Well, it was your idea to bring everybody together. I mean, well, not necessarily your idea, but look, all I'm saying is that we should get some support in here. Someone. We're going to end up losing no matter what happens. Shouldn't we pick a champion? You think we can get all the minor clans to agree on picking a champion? Your head is in the clouds. Now look, I'm not saying that this doesn't seem like an impossible task, but I feel like the two of you are missing the big picture here. If we don't do something, like he said, we'll lose. They're all gonna take advantage of us. I say we make the deal. At least it'll give us some sort of funding or support. And if we need to, we call on the people. I can count. There are more disgruntled employees and people and denizens of this city than there are facets of the crystal in the mines. And they all kind of go silent for a moment and just kind of deep in thought. And they, for the next couple moments, they're just sipping and thinking. After those few moments, one pipes up. Well, I'm not sure about you two, but my vote's with her. And if she says that we have a chance, even the smallest bit, I have a little bit of a mind to agree with her. Especially with all the shit going down. All it takes is one person to start the trials and we're better off figuring it out now while we still have time. And rather be caught with our pants down. And I think we can use that. I think we can use the fact that time is of the essence to help unify us. Come on. When was the last time you didn't have to pay Vogel or Stoneworm or Mortanic some ridiculous racket tax just so you could get the flour imported from the Triway? Aren't you sick and tired of it? And then silence for quite a while.
Okay. Because I like to think that Hika's just like kind of sitting in like some close by booth, just kind of like chilling. So Hika's gonna kind of like go back to where he's sitting
Sure.
and just kind of like think again.
Yeah, like you're in a spot where like kind of the wall protrudes a little bit and you're on the other side of the wall with your back to them, so they don't really ever hear you, but you can hear them with your big ol' ears, like through the thin wall, and you kind of catch up to them. So you get up and you move. You go back to
Yeah.
the bar then?
Yeah.
Okay, out of the corner of your eye, you catch the gaze of the individual who was in the moment of putting hair behind the ear, and they notice they have pointed ears. You're like, oh shit, that's a half-elf. They notice, you notice them, and they go back to their drink. You get the sense that I don't want to say person of interest, but I want to say that they've clocked you and now are making sure that they have location on you at all times. Like they seem like they've done that to a couple people here. They're like, okay, keep an eye on that person, just to.
So this person kind of smiled at me.
It's just because like more of a polite of just like, oh, you noticed me, put my hair behind my head. Hey, what's up? It was that like quick eye and then dart eyes away of like, don't talk to me. But that's the polite thing to do.
Okay.
But you now know that they are half elven.
Interesting. Okay, I'll just kind of keep
Okay,
drinking.
cool. That's it then. 8 hours. Yes.
When Log and I come back, was that before or after that guy walked in?
Roll a perception check if you guys walk in. Unless your passive perception exceeds 18.
Nope.
Rolled 3.
3?
So did I. Which makes a 7.
And still makes a 3.
Where is it?
So when I see the two of them walk in, are they still there? Is the person still there? I want to talk to the person, but the person doesn't want to talk to me. Yeah, I'm gonna go up and talk to them.
It's like, I want to talk to her, but I
Yeah.
don't think she wants to talk to me. How
Fuck
do I
it.
approach people? People are weird. Where's my...
You're sure you're not still soft gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hika's gonna.
No, go ahead.
Hika's probably gonna, like, after a bit of, like. And also, Hika doesn't drink. Hika's just, like, drinking water the whole time to stay hydrated. Just hydrate. So, Hika's probably gonna just walk over after, like, maybe an hour of just, like, keeping it, like, the two of them just kind of being, like,
Glancing at each other every once in a while.
yeah.
Are you still there? Yep.
Yeah.
You're still there.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
Like, I think after about an hour of the two of them just kind of, like, awkwardly looking at each other every once in a while, Hika's gonna be like, Hika's gonna walk over and just be like, so how long are we going to do this?
I'm sorry?
How long are we just going to stare awkwardly across the bar at each other?
Gestures at a seat before them.
Sits down.
Can I buy you a drink?
I don't drink, but you could buy me some water. Just kidding.
Seltzer?
Sure.
Raises his hand when someone calls over and he orders you some pop.
Yeah.
Nice seltzer.
Got him to say pop, guys. It's huge.
It's only because you say it all the fucking time. Cool. So, gestures.
So, seem to be
So,
clocking everyone in the building. What's going on?
I'm working.
What are you working on? I guess we're all working.
My job.
Oh, sounds fun. Do I recognize him?
Doesn't
Cool.
look familiar at all to you.
Interesting.
And you?
Well, I'm here to make some money.
Oh. Me too.
Inside check.
He wasn't here when I described it before. That's okay. I'll tell you later. Don't worry about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Inside check is... Ooh, that's good. 25.
25. Okay, they're telling the truth. They're here to make money.
Aren't we all? Are you from here?
I'm from here and there, hither and yon. I move where the work takes me. You?
Not from around here? Not lived around here?
You in town long?
Hopefully not.
Me too.
I guess we're in town in a very important time. I seem to have noticed.
Well, you're here.
You are as well. Is he hot? Nice.
Pretty hot. He's rugged. He's like a rugged half-elven. He's got like this.
He's half elven?
He's half-elven. He has this kind of. I don't want to say five. It's a little thicker than a 5 o'clock shadow, but it's like perfectly. It like you could grate cheese on it. It's just, and he's stacked and got armor. I'm sorry, I keep saying he, they.
Ooh.
They're just they have this like masculine air about them, but also like this kind of this delicate voice. It's kind of like silk. They're pretty hot, and they look like they know how to handle themselves.
Well. So, we're both here in this, what it seems like important time.
Well, like I said, maybe it's important because we're both here.
That could be said.
He makes eye contact you, but also make sure you see his eyes dart around and make sure he's giving you the attention,
Yeah.
like respectfully, but he's
Yeah.
also expertly making sure he's keeping track of everything else also. at the same
Yeah.
time.
What are you looking around for?
My job.
Fair enough. What would I need to get you to tell me what your job is?
You could hire me. Or you could be my job.
I wish I knew what that meant.
That's the insight check that you need.
Right.
Can I inside check that?
Sure. What is it?
What the fuck
Absurd.
does he mean? Like,
Sure,
is he-
go ahead.
that is a 24.
24. About you being his job?
Yeah, like, what is he trying to get across?
He's saying he could tell you what his job is if you are what
Like-
he's looking for his job.
Oh. So if I was, like, his target or something?
Yeah, you kind of get in the sense like he's searching for someone slash something slash some like,
Oh.
and or on the eye out. Like he seems you kind of get this like with such a high of an insight check, you get this kind of like you almost fall and slide into this little bit of a prey moment. It's a little kinky. And he's
Interesting.
for sure the predator, or they are for sure the predator.
Okay. Are you an investigator?
Of a sense.
Interesting.
On to you.
Like, what do I do?
Yes, are you on your pilgrimage?
No. I left the order. Couldn't stand it there,
A rebel.
I guess.
I like it.
Anyway, I guess I have to go.
Pity.
Pity indeed. Have friends to meet.
Me too.
What are your friends like?
I wouldn't call them friends. But they're slippery.
Interesting. Do I get the sense that he's looking for, like, some of the same people based off of, like, the susness of the people I just met and the susness of him?
Based on how. I just met this suspicious group of people, and now there's somebody
Looking
looking
for a suspicious group of people. like, could I put those two together?
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, I can't, like, you rolled your insight check, you got what you got.
Yeah, I
Out of
feel
it,
like Hika's kind of thinking that, but he's like, I'm gonna let them meet and see what happens. Well, I better go. I hope we meet again. What was your name?
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you as well. And then I just dip.
And you did.
And Log and I obliviously had like walked through the room.
Ooh, while did I
conversation.
see him clock Log, and
He clocked everybody. Everybody that comes through that door, he clocks.
did he clock Log and Boots anymore?
Cole was with us.
Yeah.
Than he clocked.
And Cole,
Don't forget me.
Like, would I have noticed that with my?
I mean, you
passive
noticed them.
perception?
You noticed him noticing them. I'm sorry. It's a very difficult question to answer as far as whether he was paying more attention to them than anybody else, because he absolutely clocked them come in and he absolutely clocked them go upstairs.
Okay.
As far as more or less than anybody else,
So I wouldn't have gotten
his
that.
eyes are just rapid
Okay.
everywhere.
Cool.
And it looks like he doesn't even have to have his eyes on somebody to notice when somebody looks in. Like, he has full peripheral vision.
Cool.
He's like one of those people that can focus on things that are in the extent of their periphery. It's an insane ability.
He's actually a chameleon. He can show
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I find that hot.
His eyes start moving in different
Right.
directions.
Because like,
Nice
because like I was
Didn't do that. He
in
didn't
it. I
go
was-
cross-eyed.
Because like I was into it until
Saw the
He
eye
wasn't.
thing.
He didn't do weird eye stuff. He's just
like I'm sorry,
Very-
it's just not my thing.
like
Very
consider
aware.
him having like the
Special kid,
observant.
weird eye
you know what I mean?
Very aware.
Like, his passive perception is high.
Okay.
Cool. So I guess we'll just call that end that there then. Great. So eventually you finished writing your thing.
Got it.
I want
Thank
to
you for
identify
the
the
help.
boxes.
Okay, you got it. Which one do you want to do first?
The folding box.
Okay. You cast Identify ritually, or you just...
Yep, ritual.
You cast Identify. It is called a folding box.
Cool.
You figure out how it works. There is a a hidden button on the corner on one of the sides, and you click it, and then you set it down, and then over the course, of 6 seconds, it grows to like 20 times the size, or like big, just because like 5 foot tall, to encase the entire cube of a 5 foot cube, and then it starts to
The sides fold.
unfold like a cube would unfold, in any orientation that you want the cube to unfold that is possible for a 6-sided cube.
Okay.
And then that covers 6 spaces with the face of each of those cubes, and then you can place an item on one of those spaces, or it's one item. On each of those spaces, and but that can't be heavier than 500 pounds, and then it folds it back up and it sticks to the face as it folds back up and then shrinks. It doesn't. You do realize that it doesn't have to be an item. It works on creatures too.
Okay.
So it takes 6 seconds to grow, 6 seconds to unfold, 6 seconds to fold back up, and 6 seconds to shrink again.
Could I put a container on one of the sides full of stuff?
This is what I was afraid of because I knew what you were thinking.
Like, can I put a sack full of things on one of the faces and have it contain, like, that's
so the
one
Magitech
thing.
that creates this thing
Yeah.
is like, you have to kind of like fool the sensor into thinking it's one item. If you can fool it into thinking it's one item, sure.
Okay.
Bag full.
I'm thinking, like, crate, like a chest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fill the chest up, put it on one of the faces, and have it full.
Possibly. What I will say is that with Identify, you'll have a better chance of succeeding with that if all the things in the chest are of the same nature.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah, and that's more what I was going for.
Because you
like-
can call it, because like its designation would be a chest of gold bars.
Right.
Technically one item.
Yeah.
Not a chest of gold and silver bars.
Right.
Which is like a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more ambiguous. It probably was tossed as junk when the creator realized, oh, it's only one item. I didn't think about how things are often more than one item. This is useless. Like then they sold it to fucking Canary.
Yeah.
Calicanicious.
Takes
And
up
we're
a lot of
just
space
like,
when you gotta unfold all those 5-foot spaces.
Yeah.
It does the same properties. It is not a other dimension. It is the same dimension. It physically shrinks the item within itself.
So I can put that in my bag of holding without blowing anything up.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can put that in your bag of holding without blowing it up.
How
Also,
much air is there?
also it is a permeable membrane. It's not a complete airtight thing. So something that's miniature inside it can breathe.
Okay.
So if you
Unless it's
put
in the
me
big
in there, I could live in a tiny cube.
I can put Conk in there. And not
You could
have to
put
worry
Conk in there.
about-
Technically, he is a single item.
Yeah. And he can fit within a 5-foot square, so he can
Yep.
stand on one of the squares.
So
and I
technically,
can-
like 6 people could go in the cube. It could be
Pokeball.
shrunk down, be carried by one person.
Pokecube.
And
But they
then
wouldn't be able to. They'd have to be naked, right? Because then don't they all the items on them?
no.
Okay.
Let's not do that. Because that's not this kind of game. That's not the kind of game this is. As much as Log wants to make it that.
Just
Again, I'm
going
not the one
based
who
off
throws
your
around
rules.
turkeys.
And what I-
Gotta get a brownie.
It'd be great for smuggling people.
Yeah.
Could have some uses.
No uses. And at the very least, it does shrink down some really bigger items, you know. So
Like dead bodies.
Yeah, but then I could only open it where nobody else sees it.
So that's the thing. You know that if it doesn't have enough room to unfold, it just goes da da da, and it doesn't get big.
Right. It's got to have the full space to open up.
All right.
So how big is a purple worm head?
Bigger than 5 feet.
If you
We'd have to cut
reduce
it up into
it,
pieces and put one on each of the thing.
I'm assuming you can't use a reduce spell and then put it in there. It'd
And
probably
each of
break
the-
box.
I have a feeling that would end poorly.
And it would probably break the box. when
Each
it
of the
expands
items
back up.
on one of the faces can't be more than 500 pounds. Otherwise, it's like its magic tech doesn't really work.
if it was less than an hour, then we could do it.
So if you put an item on that that's heavier and tell it to collapse,
It'll
it just won't collapse.
Right.
I'll write something up for you.
Okay.
It was actually something I used in a previous campaign and I never made a card for it.
It's fine. I would also like to identify the Ironwood Box.
It is not.
You like cast identify?
Yep.
There's an ironwood box.
Ta-da!
Not magical.
Cool.
Just a box of ironwood. You don't know what's inside of it.
Wanted to make sure.
Okay.
It takes you 8 hours, right? So I'm guessing that wasn't 8 hours. I'll spend the rest of the time trying to figure out the Ironwood Box.
Did you want to know what's inside it?
What's inside what?
The box.
Which box? I've got 2.
Both of them.
The ironwood one.
Well,
One you
yeah.
can't get open.
She didn't know what was in it. She'd never gotten it
She's
open.
talking about his devil sight.
I can tell you what's in the box.
Can you see through Ironwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's only lead that you can't see.
No, I can see through anything. We've been over this. I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
through 30 feet of...
It literally it doesn't stipulate anything. Even adamantine doesn't matter what it
It's
is.
just 30 foot of solid object.
Do you want to
I
waste
think
that?
I think you can't. Can you see through an anti-magic field? We'll talk
It
about
doesn't,
that.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't
say.
specify.
Yeah.
Because I think because it's a magical ability, I think an anti-magic field would stop you. But we'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you ghostly gaze into it.
Because the thing is that it comes back after a short rest, and since we're going to be here for 8 hours,
Yeah, you got it.
I've got time.
Sure. See if there's anything interesting in here.
You ghostly gaze into it. It looks like there is a shaft, like some sort of rod, that's broken on 2 ends, like a portion of a rod.
It's a broken stick.
Looks like some sort of metallic rod.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna try even harder to get this thing open.
Yes, plans within plans within plans. Okay, cool. Everybody good then? Eliezer, what's your prayer at the end of the 8 hours?
I'm going to take off my armor like I always do. And I'm going to go in a corner. And my prayer is going to be, Warm Blizzard, I beseech you before this upcoming battle, asking you to please give me the wisdom, the insight, and the intuition, not only on our travels, but during the battle, so I can accomplish your will, but also to protect my dear friends.
You got it. You can either roll a religion check or a charisma check for me.
Charisma.
Easy.
20.
20, dirty 20. Nice. Log, as you engage your ghostly gaze and you look through this thing, you're like, it's a broken stick. And you're still doing the finishing touches on your thing, and you're just like, want the light over here? Guidance. Want the light over here? Guidance. You all feel the latches from the window and the not the blinds, but the
Shutters.
Shutters.
the shutters.
Yeah.
Thank you. The shutters open like thaumaturgy, and a very cold and bitter wind goes through the pace and then flows through a window on the opposite side of the room. Just very subtle. Not very subtle, but very quick and fleeting. And those of you that aren't used to the cold, just feel a shiver go down your spine. But it's like almost like a refreshing shiver, not like a oh shit, I have to pee in the middle of the night during the winter when it's 0 degrees.
And I'm camping.
That's the worst. And you're sure of the presence that your prayer was received. You feel somehow that your courage, your faith, has been proved in this moment. And because of that, you feel like your constitution has increased. You feel like you're stronger. You're reminded of a time back when you were training with your father, where you used to visit some of like the more like in Yosemite, or not Yosemite, Yellowstone, how those pools of like all those different types of chemicals, and they're kind of, some of them are like acidic and some of them are basic, and they have like, or whatever, I don't know what it is.
It's the bacteria.
Bacteria, thank you.
Yeah.
Bacteria. It's like, so it's not just exactly what I'm talking about, but it's kind of like it's kind of like swampy, but also kind of like badlandy, and like with pools. That's the kind of terrain you remember, and you remember after training soaking in these baths, but they weren't like baths of like bacteria like in Yellowstone. It was like of like a very, 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 very mild acid that like helped like get rid of all of like the salt on your skin or the scales and everything, and help peel off the layer and everything, and get you like make your scales more flexible so you can do your like cool down and warm up things, and you're just reminded of that, and you're reminded of the time that you spent with that, and these kind of like these like hot tub acid baths you used to take with your father after training, and you feel that wind, as you're like transported back in that time when you see yourself as a youngster in the bath, you feel that wind sitting in that bath move across with you, almost as if the wind reached into the memory, recognized it, and made its presence known in your past. And because of that, it recognizes that and it grants you a boon for the day. You are resistant to acid damage for the rest of the day until your next long rest. Okay. And we're off. Anything else?
Do you tell us anything?
I'm gonna just see, like, because I spent I don't know where you guys are, because I'm just chilling at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna kind of watch the dude or them as they just kind of stay at their table.
Sure.
You probably know that, like, I'm upstairs in the room. Like,
Yeah, I'm
we're
gonna
upstairs
wait
in the-
until you guys come down
Yeah.
from the room and see what happens.
Got it. You're waiting here rather than...
Yeah, I'm waiting there, and I'm gonna wait until people come down from the room before I'm just gonna kind of wait and see what happens. And
Sure.
see if this person is, like, actually trailing you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on with Ermgrim during this time?
He's in the room.
Just chilling. Okay.
He's been chilling. You see... He's keeping a very close eye on Kyron. And in the moments that he's not, he's rubbing in his hands an ember, some sort of ember, and just kind of rubbing it in his hands and tugging at his beard, fooling his fingers through his hair, getting his thoughts in order. It's taken this like time as kind of alone time. He's kind of like off on the other side of the room, just taking his moment, sitting on a stool, hunched over, just thinking, making sure Kyron's always within line of sight. That's about it. He's just chilling here,
Okay.
just prepping himself.
Eleazar is getting dressed. And don't forget, he keeps his moss hide belt underneath his armor.
You got it. Yeah. There's like the way the plate armor works is that like there's a spot for it. If you want it to be over your armor, you can. Like there's a gap there that it's meant.
I don't
for
want
the
it to
plate. You want to hide it? That's fine. You got it. Cool. Anything else? Trishani, you finish? Argus, you finish?
Same time.
Finally. Thank you for proofreading that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, you're done? Are we ready? Shall we forge on and embrace destiny?
Yeah, as long as we've got some food, good for the road, yeah.
I got milk for everybody while I was waiting. Make sure you get proteined up.
That's fair. All right. She'll take it.
No.
No? Okay.
I don't want to heat up milk.
I'll stick with
You
it.
don't like warm milk? Warm milk is delicious.
No, he.
And not if I'm going to go fight. I'm not trying to go to bed.
Yeah. You also make it like boiling, right?
Yes.
You
Hot
know,
cocoa?
I got coffee.
Not
Okay.
before a battle.
Okay.
That's, yeah.
So how are we doing this? Are we sneaking out or are we just leaving? I mean, I
I'm
guess we could just leave.
kind of being followed. We know that.
Yeah. Do we have anything to kind of make Armgrim not look like Armgrim?
Armgrim can make himself not look like Armgrim.
Are you still okay to do that today?
I can do that. I'm also gonna probably meet you there.
Okay.
Just so that
Where?
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
two different parties, shell game, I guess. If anybody ends up trying to follow you to try to find me, do my best. If you get there, and I don't show up within 20 minutes, leave without me. Because that means I'm probably in trouble. And if I'm in trouble, I'm going to make explosions. So I'd rather you not get in the way.
Do you mind if...
Don't come get me. It'll just be a mess.
Do you mind if he comes along with you and just kind of hide in like a pocket or something? I point to Shakar.
You little owl boy.
Yeah. Just, you know. That way if you get into trouble, it's...
You were...
I can see. If needed. But I'll only check, you know, of course, if at the time.
I figured as much. Wasn't really paying attention at the time, so it's fine.
It's not all the time that I can see.
Sorry,
Should we
I
Go
don't
out.
think I can make him look like me.
No, but can he just like hang out in your pocket? He's a little burrowing owl. He's like,
Sure,
this big.
yeah, he can hang out with me, that's
Okay.
fine. I can't promise his safety if things get rough, though.
That's
Is there somewhere on the way that sells carts and rote?
No, Locke. No.
I mean, we can visit
No.
the stables if you want, but if you're trying to get carts and rotate
We're not
down
taking
the
carts
breach,
and rotate down into the breach to grab a head.
we
No.
could. It's gonna take us days, though.
No. No.
All right.
Is this all happening in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You'd be like, what the fuck? Oh.
That,
I mean-
that's not going to work out very well for us. Do you remember how slow it was dealing with the other cart?
Well, yeah, but that was broken.
But even
No, it's
without
not.
it, even without it, it was easier to move without the cart. What if we do something on the way back? That's gonna make things move faster.
Like, what?
Oh, I could turn you into something, and you could like fly away with the head.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're ready to go?
Yeah.
We're ready to seek
Where
out
are we
destiny.
meeting at the breach? Where are we meeting Ermgrim?
Yeah. Where at the
At the breach.
just? I feel like it's a big place, right? It's. I would imagine a rift is not
I
exactly
mean,
like
once you
a
get
tiny...
into the breach, I'll find my way in there, and I'll meet you there.
Okay.
I mean, there's only like about the southern entrance of the breach. Okay?
Wonderful. Okay. Great. Anybody got a compass?
The southernmost entrance, technically.
How'd you?
It does stretch on for about, I don't know, like 200 miles, so it makes sense. Or something like, I don't know,
Pulls
anywhere.
out his cane.
I don't know how much work they've done on it, so it could be like 10 miles now, so I don't know.
Do we all want to go out at once, or do we want to kind of go?
Let's stagger. I agree. I think it's probably a better.
Teams of 2, 3. What are we doing?
Meet up a couple blocks down the street?
Yeah.
Oh, like clandestine. Yeah. Oh, this is fun. Are you part of a secret agency?
Always.
What do you think?
We can't tell you. Or we'd have to kill you.
Oh, well, don't do that. But,
Good thing your will's in order.
Can I be part of this secret agency? Maybe I can be your inside guy once, and if I become, head honcho. What do you think?
There's an initiation fee.
Oh, how much?
How much gold you got?
Well, I only have platinum on me, but I could probably visit a money changer and get some.
No, platinum. How much platinum you got?
Enough.
That you think.
We'll talk.
Oh, okay.
So
he's just hanging
I'll
his
go
head or
last, so
storing
I'm on the watch as I'm going down. If anyone is paying attention to
Okay,
it.
so if you guys are going out in groups, let's make this quick. Who's going when?
And who's going first?
Let's do. You guys really enjoy splitting the party, so
Not for long, just to
No.
like get
No,
outside.
it's just a minute
Walk
here.
out. Yeah,
I
we're not
understand.
gonna-
Okay, so let's just say groups of 3.
Sure.
Okay. Who goes first?
I'll go down.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Okay, so
too,
this
'cause
side of
it's
the table.
like,
Boom,
yeah.
done. Okay, just make it easy, right?
Yep.
All right.
And I literally stagger because that's what I thought they meant.
I don't.
It's all right. He's okay. He's okay.
Just walk it off, buddy. Come on. Let's go get some fresh air. Come
That's
on.
fucking
Come on.
perfect. That's great. Okay. Do you three go next?
Yep.
Cole will come with you.
And I'm gonna scan the room as I'm walking down, see if anyone looks.
Cole and Pernua will go next.
There you go.
Cole, Pernua, and Missy Pyle will go next. Moonchild will go next. They exit, and then you three go last. What's your passive perception? It's at the bottom of your skills. In its own little box.
On D&D Beyond it.
You explained what this guy looked like, right?
13. It says passive. 13.
13, go ahead and roll perception check for me.
Did I not notice this guy?
Rice.
Yeah, I know.
5.
5?
Yep. Oh, the guy I had the conversation with.
Did you notice this guy?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
you noticed it.
Did you explain what he looked like, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because we were all there at the bar.
You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh.
were
No,
there.
remember I had met with him?
No,
When you
I
guys
think
had-
we were all there.
Well, yeah, we were all like physically in the
You just
room.
went over to the
you-
other room.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
You guys clocked.
We would have
who-
seen you talking. To
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Argus, you noticed him.
Okay.
Eleazar,
I didn't notice.
you didn't notice him. You guys all leave. You want to make a stealth check? Everybody make a collective stealth check. Let's do the averages of the groups.
Disadvantage.
Okay, I did pretty well for Moonchild, and don't worry about that.
Are you rolling for Cole too, or?
I did.
Okay, cool.
No, I rolled for Pernua. If you want to roll for Cole, that's fine. Yeah, or whatever. I think it's gonna be fine because they rolled pretty darn well. So unless Cole gets a natural 1. What do you get? A natural 1?
Oh no, I was sorry. I'm rolling. Yeah, I've got his thing up, so makes sense. He's got his jack of all trades thing too, so 16.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, they're fine. You guys,
22.
17?
10.
you're okay. Argus, you do that double take thing, and like almost bump into the door as you're leaving, looking at the half elven individual. You leave. How would you get?
16.
Is Conk with you too?
Yeah, he got
I
a
keep
14.
forgetting to count Conk.
25.
17.
Okay, yeah, you guys are
They
good.
saved me.
Yeah, you guys like stagger and then meet back up. No biggie. You guys eventually find your way to one of the entrances to the Reaching Breach. It's kind of like at the. You have to go to through like another one of those tunnels because you know how this is kind of like a domed underground area, and then they have other tunnels that go boop 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 boop, all of that go into the dome. So you have to follow one of those tunnels. It is like a kind of a side road / main road that goes off to the area that has. And there's checkpoints, boom, 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 all along this tunnel too. So in case, and you see along these checkpoints that you're passing through, especially because you have perception and your knowledge of tech, that there are black powder kegs every so often at each section here, in case they have to collapse the tunnel to prevent the Reaching Breach, and like a swarm from the Reaching Breach overwhelming the city. So they have contingency plans to fully collapse the tunnels and completely shut off Steercrag from the world, if they need to save them and everybody else from the Reaching Breach. Granted, that means that they could starve, but that's their job. So you guys continue. You eventually go down. I'm gonna roll one thing here. Okay. Cole and Argus, as you guys, before you reconvene, I was gonna say Cole, but he's not here, and I don't want to play for him. So, Argus, you notice. Pleased to meet you is following you. Very well, very well. You just noticed him.
I'll turn around and be like, pleased to meet you. How you doing today?
He's like, takes off his hat, walks over politely, gentlemanly. I'm doing well, and you?
Huh? You know, hanging in there. You ran into any fun Durgar recently?
Oh, not yet, but The die's still young.
It's always true.
You?
I mean, where I go happens. Everything happens wherever I go.
I'm not quite sure what that means, but all right.
You know? Wherever the light takes me.
Interesting. You need something?
No, just wondering, why you're following me.
Oh well, we just happen to be going the same way.
Oh, yeah? And which way is that?
That way.
And where are you trying to reach?
That way.
And where is that way?
That way.
And destination?
Yeah. Yeah, where are you going that way?
In that. Ah, I see. In that direction.
I hope it's the right one.
Me too.
Hate to be in your way, so because we're a smaller group, we're bigger, right? So go ahead.
I got
ahead.
little legs. Why don't you
Yeah.
go ahead?
Yeah.
It's very kind of you. Please enjoy your evening. And he moves forward ahead of you guys. How long do you guys wait?
Oh,
If you
we
guys
follow
wait.
him. Or I'd follow him.
You guys following him?
Would just wait like a little bit, do you think? In
No,
case he was
I don't
trying
want
to-
him to try to double back around on us. Let's just
Okay.
keep going.
All right.
Okay. You follow him all the way to the checkpoints that goes to the reaching breach. Like past the checkpoint, it's like how you exit, and he stops there and starts talking to one of the guards before you, and then you catch up to him.
Hey, can you just keep an eye on me? I'm gonna work into Shakar and try to
Sure.
warn our friend. Okay. Work into Shakar, try to tap his shoulder and like do a no sign if I can, if he's within reach.
Shakar just fully 360 knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's within that 100 feet or whatever, because I know that.
He's for sure not within 100 feet of
Okay.
you.
But I'll still work into him and see what's up.
Sure. Armgrim is on the rooftops, within line of sight of Eleazar. Or not, well, Eleazar can't see him, but he can see Eleazar. He's with he's watching their group left last. So it looks like he's moving, and he just and you can see their group because you guys haven't met up yet. You can see their group moving in your direction, and Ermgrim is seeing them and kind of splitting off, and just about to make his own way, but is headed to the reaching breach as well.
Okay. We're back. I report that back to you two. Just, he's not too far from the other group, but
Okay.
I don't know what we want to do about our other
Nothing
friend.
to do yet.
I guess I'll just keep checking in on them every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean,
Can't do anything else.
You guys eventually meet back up, and you, as a group, make it to the last checkpoint right before the reaching breach. Like you can see the reaching breach and all the penal people like working to. There's a bunch of people that look like they're like working in a penal colony kind of thing. Hold on one second. That are like what looks like quarrying stone and like filling up the breach and like or like banding it like with metals and stone to try to like block it up, stop it up. They're trying to make it smaller and like I mean, then this thing is miles wide, so it's like a generational project to do this. But yeah, and pleased to meet you is there at the checkpoint talking to one of the guards.
what is he saying?
We'll get to that in a second. You had a question. I didn't want to interrupt you. Go.
As soon as, because if he was following the line of sight of Eleazar, at some point would have been in. It's okay. He would have been in range of me being able to tell Shakar to do something.
Correct.
So-
However, also incorrect because once Ermgrim was in line of sight with him, it was only for a moment, and then he split off and went his own way. So he went a more roundabout way
Okay.
than you guys did. You guys all took different routes, and then you guys met up before Ermgrim did.
My
Ermgrim's taking-
apologies. I thought Ermgrim was following Eleazar.
No,
so-
no.
okay.
He there was just a couple moments where he could see Eleazar, and you just happened to warg into them in that couple moments, and then Ermgrim went off and did his own stealthy way. Make sense?
So is our whole group back together?
Your whole group is back together. Yeah, sorry, we did a little bit out of order. Your whole group is back together. Then you go through that side tunnel and see all those contingency black powder things, and during that time you're following. Pleased to meet you down the tunnel, and then you go to the last checkpoint right before the reaching breach. And you see pleased to meet you.
Would Cole use a spell to do an image of Ermgrim with us, or like somewhere where the guy could see him?
Knowing Kevin, maybe.
That's a high level spell.
Well, that's why. I'm
Oh, like a
asking.
major image?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if you would use
Maybe
that
not
in
then.
this situation, knowing we're going to go do this. So that's
Maybe not.
I don't know if you use or bean be like, we're just gonna go.
Right.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, you guys can just get through the fucking checkpoint because the bean.
Bar community.
Fuck. Okay. I mean,
I was
'cause
just thinking of
the
just
checkpoint is also a pretty
meeting
minor
the
inconvenience
guy.
too. It's pretty
Yeah.
much just like, okay, what's your business? What are you gonna go do? We're gonna let you go no matter what, but we just want to know what you're gonna do. And if you're mercenaries on a hunt or whatever it is, if you don't come back, we need to let people know that you probably died. That's pretty much what it is. Cool. Yeah. So what are you doing? You very quickly catching up to. Pleased to meet you.
What's he talking to him about?
Right. You see him talking to the guard, being like, "Hey, have you seen? I know it's your job, but it's also my job. Have you seen any Durgar recently? Trying to exit or enter the city to the Reaching Breach or from the Reaching Breach or in the past hour?" And the guard's like, I don't think so. I can check with the outpost down the way, but we would know. That's about it. The long and short of the conversation. You guys catch up, because I mean, unless you just stop walking and don't go where it is you're gonna go, you're gonna catch up to him.
I'd be like, why would a Durgar ever try to go through the Reaching Breach? I mean, there's so many other tunnels around.
You say that. You fully letting him know that you overheard him.
Uh-huh.
You piece of crap.
I'm having a side conversation with Trishani.
Okay,
Very
you pass the
loudly.
perception. You just kind of get a little bit of a side eye.
I mean,
from,
logically,
Pleased to
it
Meet
doesn't.
You.
It just doesn't make sense.
I
You're
know.
totally right. I see your arguments. Just continue.
Another guard's like, Cole, state your business. And then Cole just goes like, "Is this business enough for you?" And he points to his bean. And the guy's like, he just steps aside and goes back to doing his paperwork and staying. And you guys can just go.
Did he take our names?
No.
Don't need to. Bardic immunity. Not for something like this. Don't need to. Unless you want to offer up your names, he'll take your names if you want to.
No.
No.
We'd prefer to stay late nameless.
You see, Pleased to Meet You doesn't follow. He's there. It's like he's posting up here. He knows, or he has a very strong feeling that the Durgar he's looking for has some affiliation with you, and if you're headed somewhere, he has to meet up with you too. So he's like, if I know the destination, I'll just go there and I'll wait for them to arrive. He's a good hunter. He knows what he's doing. You see him too. You're there now. You guys make it past, unless you want to say anything to him, but you're good.
Nope.
Okay, you guys move on. The Reaching Breach before you now. Now that you're closer, you're now like around you now are moving. There are some wardens around, like that are armed, just keeping an eye on the penal workers here that are working on like clogging up the Reaching Breach. It is a massive canyon scar that stretches for like a mile across and who knows how many miles long that just goes just a scar in the earth, just goes deep, 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 deep. And now there are some like people have carved like switchbacks and other tunnels and other kind of a thing in order to get down there for other reasons. And there are there's like towers you can see afar away, a tower on the other side. There are lights here that are meant to keep things alight, whether it be via glowworm or flames that are like it's full like tower defense game where there's like tower, just to make sure that any type of incursion they'd be able to see what's going on. And they are the first warning system, and they know if an army comes up or if a swarm comes up, they're not going to make it, but they'll give the people behind chance to rally the troops to push them back. And you make it this massive scar, and you can see as the ground approaches this scar, it becomes more of like a deep hue of purple, and then like rises up a little bit, almost like the scar on a skin, where the skin inflates a little bit on the edge and then rises up before the scab actually goes into the cut or like the laceration. It's kind of like that, but it's like a laceration on the skin of the earth, but underground. And it has that deep purple hue and starts to go down, and you just already get the sense, Trisheni, you get that kind of tingling sense from you that you're like, oh,
This is the edge of a.
this is the edge of a plane. Mm-hmm. Like you have a very, very mild sensation compared to what your sister has, but you still have that kind of type of connection. But you sense like, and this is a big opening. This is a big, big opening. This is like as soon as you go down into the breach just a little bit, you're in the Underdark.
Right.
It's like because the Underdark is at a certain depth, but at a different depth at certain points. At this, it kind of shoots up like a peak. If it was like a graphic, like a graph of some sort, it kind of shoots up here. So technically, the surrounding area around the scar, the reaching breach itself, where the penal people, the penal workers are working, is part of the Underdark and is within that realm. So, probably the highest depth of a section that is considered Underdark that you guys have ever experienced. There you go. You become, I wouldn't say surrounded, but just kind of inundated with all these people working around. None of them look happy. They're doing this. A lot of these are like debtors from debtors' prison that are working off their debt by working as penal things. Some people are here for other things, but you kind of get that sense. There are some people that are working in what looks like nice garb that has been tattered from all the work that they've been doing, like some sort of fall from grace of financial. There's quite a few of those, and they made some bad investments, and now they're doing this, and their nice clothes are all torn to shit. But that's about it. You definitely feel that like draft. There's a subtle draft, kind of like a geyser that just constantly is blowing up from the reaching breach as you approach it. Is there any particular way that you guys would like to descend?
Slowly.
Slowly. Okay, guys, you can take the switchbacks if you like.
So
Yeah.
Ermgrim can catch up.
Yeah, so there are advanced tower positions as well. There are some patrols that go in and out and everything. As for advanced scouts, early warning systems and stuff like that, in case other people come down there. And there are some posts along certain levels that are just kind of built into the side of the scar, and they go down, and they're just less and less and less as they go down and down and down and down. And as long as you're within this part of it, you guys aren't really under too much danger, because this is it's militarily occupied, so you're good. So we can like speed through that. You guys just slowly go down this switchback, like, it takes you a couple hours, and you eventually end up down at the bottom. You probably
Major
traveled.
one.
You got it. You guys have probably traveled for a couple miles already. As far as
Cast
the
light
length
on his
that you've walked, but you don't know. You think you might even like be a mile deep at this point, like a mile deeper than you thought. Like you guys are deep, and you start to finally like reach a portion where it starts to, rather than just be a sheer scar, have a like split off a little bit and kind of like flay out, and go into other chambers and other tunnels, and like think of this as a highway of the Underdark that just shoots up into the underworld. And so you kind of like think about it like another triway that's all the way down here, and there are more. You could go deeper if you want, but there's a bunch of other stuff that splits off. So it's a big old junction point that runs for miles. Where would you guys like to go? You can either go deeper or you can split off. In what cardinal direction would you like to go?
Take a quick breather for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wait for Grim.
Yeah.
See if he catches up to us.
Do you want me to do a quick check-in on him?
Yes.
See? All right. Plop down and warg in.
You plop down and warg in. You see him. There are like some pulley and elevator things that go down a little bit. Sometimes to they're. It's like on a big crane that's attached to the top of the scar that then reaches over, and it's like counterweighted. And there's like an elevator that goes down to access the posts that are like built into the side of the wall, and they perfectly line up with them depending on how the depth that it goes down. And that's the only way you can access that unless you want to like spelunk or fully rock climb. And they're built specifically like that because they're highly defensible. Like it's really hard to get there unless you're like a drider, I guess, well, which makes sense. And you like can actually climb walls. And you see he's on one of these elevators that's going down, and he looks like a dwarven guard. And he's just snuck in to make it look like he's on his way to work. And he's going down, 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 down until like it goes. It doesn't go all the way down. It goes maybe 2/3 of the way down, and he goes to the last one, and he gets off, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a little hungover. It was a little crazy. Whoa!" And he falls off the side of the thing. The thing. Make it, and then people are like, "Oh my God, who was that? Was that George? Oh, I should tell his mom. Wait, that wasn't George.
Who was that?
Oh, poor old sod. I mourn and keep his soul." And then like he's like, "Oh!" As he's just under the thing, as he kind of like swung under and phase bladed his way into the wall to stick himself in there. And thaumaturgy to make it sound like the dude fell all the way down.
Thaumaturgy's a splat.
Yeah, and he
And
goes,
a Wilhelm scream.
and he just slowly like is working his way down with his phase blade like directly under the last post. So they have it's literally their only blind spot, so they can't see him. And he just works his way down. He catches up to you the next 20 minutes.
He's fine, guys. I come out just before. Like,
Yeah. He's done this a couple times probably. Great. So you guys are all together. Ermgrim's like, "Alright,
Where do you think the
As
best
a
place
guide, where do we want to go?
we should probably..."
for a battle?
He picks up, digs his hands into some of the regolith, and like sniffs it, licks it for a moment. "Well, my guess would be southwest."
Lead the way.
You got it. You guys go on to a southwestern side tunnel. I'm gonna have him roll a survival check real quick at advantage because this is his battle. Good, thank God that was at advantage. Oh dear God, same thing in the same.
Well, oh no, it
Go
doesn't
ahead.
help. Well, Cole still has the cane to point north, so would that help?
Oh, that does help. Yes, but it would help if Ermgrim wasn't have such of an ego that he does not ask for help, and you and you just trust him, and he thinks he's lost, but he's not going to mention it. So he just soldiers on. So that absolutely would help.
Cole's like, "Wait a minute, aren't we?
Cole like whispers it to someone and he's like,
Are we going the wrong way? Cole pulls out his cane. He's like, "We're not going southwest anymore." But I'm not going to tell him. You tell him.
Okay. Dude, we're not going southwest anymore.
I knew that.
I know.
Just
I was making sure that you were going the way you wanted to go.
stretch me wee legs.
I know.
You're not-
Trying to make sure that we're far away enough.
I know.
from-
We had to kind of
Don't want
make it
collateral
so no one could
damage,
see
it's
us.
fine.
I got you.
All right,
You were being followed before.
it's that way.
Yes.
That way. All right, we'll go that way then. Eventually, you come across a spot. And go like, all right, I think we're far enough away now that if anything came here, we should be all right. So it looks a little familiar. Oh well.
Oh well.
Shall we start doing some sounds then?
Are you sure you want to go with the
Oh, well.
What looks
I mean,
familiar?
what's the option?
What looks familiar? Think about it.
No, it just feels familiar.
Familiar how?
Familiar.
Familiar like,
Like it
you've
looks
killed a
like
bunch of
I've been
people down
before.
here?
I don't know.
Like-
Maybe, probably.
All right. Where
How
should
do
we
you wanna
have it
summon
come
this
up?
worm?
Over there?
Well,
I mean, we don't want it to come up right underneath us, so
Yeah.
no, but
over there.
we should. I believe what we should do is that we should kite them, right? So we should make a sound, then move, then make a sound, then move, and that way we know exactly what direction they're coming from and have an approximation as to when they may arrive, so we can prepare. Make sense?
Okay.
Because if we set up and then put the bait and nothing comes, that's it. I think we have to keep moving.
Conk, go down the tunnel and start stomping around. After 10 stomps, take a couple steps towards us. If you feel rumbling, run back.
He's stomping over there. I think we should keep moving as we're making noise. Yeah? Can the rest of you make noise?
You're the one in charge.
That was my polite way. Make some fucking noise. Let's go.
All right.
Thaumaturgy
What do you want me to
conks.
thaumaturgy?
Sure. You start. A lot of stomps, lots of stuff.
Trishani starts to just
No, I mean,
Like
you can't trust me.
Spencer.
You kinda-
I can do
Good
like,
beat, buddy.
Yeah.
Ermgrim starts to
is
flash his
great.
face. They
Everything would be-
start to do a little tunnel rave as you
really
just.
have nothing that noise.
Start throwing fireballs.
You
Up
start-
Fireball.
Fireball. Bolts.
No,
Fireball.
not actual fireballs.
This is what they call underground music.
Produce
Oh.
flames. Produce flames. I'm throwing in the air.
I couldn't resist.
Not actual fireballs. That would
I was
be,
like,
that'd be
Wah,
bad.
wah.
Okay.
Does that count as a pun?
That absolutely counts as a time.
Do I owe somebody $1?
No,
I
it's
think
all
you
right.
That was a good one though.
We've never actually
Okay.
paid up on
All right.
puns.
So
Otherwise, I would talk a lot less.
Cole and Argus, you feel the ground rumble.
We got it. We hooked one.
Let's go, buddy.
Hey, let's keep moving then.
All right.
Because if we can, I'd rather than not be right underneath us. I'd rather us be a moving target, so they come from behind us, and that way we know exactly what the distance is that from, and we can prepare.
Okay.
Do we keep making noise?
No.
Oh,
I mean, that's up to you.
They're gonna be able to track us.
But we should run. 45. You start running. You start running for a while.
How
Gonna roll
long?
some
I'm
stuff
gonna
here.
fall behind.
Oh no.
picks up.
Okay.
Just kidding.
You're running and you're running. You hear. And it's getting intense, and it just stops.
Oh.
And you keep running. And he's like, "That doesn't sound right. What? Why did it stop?" I sort of think we should stop, though. I think we should keep running.
Try again. Later. After we get out of here.
Try again.
Later. After we get out of here.
Do
If we lost it, just
Right.
keep going.
Okay,
Run.
yeah, let's keep going.
I'm
you
confused
Don't
guys-
make
on whether or
noise,
not
just-
we're still running.
Yeah, we're still running.
He goes like a solid 10 feet ahead of everyone
Yeah,
consistently.
you just move so fast. You're like doing that backwards running thing, where you're keeping an eye on everybody.
He's
and
like,
you're
is
still
everyone
moving-
okay?
Yeah, you're still moving
I only
faster
have
than
25
everybody,
feet,
going
so
backwards.
I'm like falling gradually behind.
Mika.
Holmgrim's like,
Alright.
you're both.
No, he has 30. I have 25.
Durgar's have 30?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The new
right,
ones
yeah.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I
I
have
think
less.
I don't think his. I think I made him 25 because I don't like
he's
the
got
new
short
ones.
legs.
New
Yeah.
ones don't make sense. Why would Durgar have fucking? That don't make fucking sense.
It's the new monster.
I like the new ones.
races? They updated everybody?
No, his speed is 25. I reject that reality and substitute my own.
The new Durgar have 30. The old Durgar still have 25.
Yeah, because they're the same fucking size as dwarves. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, they stopped penalizing small creatures with movement
Oh,
speed.
even dwarves too?
All of them. In the new books, all of them have 30 feet.
I see.
They haven't redone the player's
Same
handbook
thing we
races.
were talking about before. Stop penalizing races for their stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I understand that.
They did that. Started
As long
doing
as you're
that a while
okay
ago.
with still having 25 feet, is everybody still
Yeah.
okay with that? You okay with
They
that?
haven't redone the player's handbook races. though.
Okay.
So all of
We're
like,
already this far in.
halflings-
There's no reason
halflings
that
I
would
mean,
change.
it's speed. It doesn't fucking matter. Do you care?
It matters. a
halflings,
lot,
gnomes,
but
and
no.
dwarves. I don't still have 25.
Okay.
I like having penalties because it makes for fun RP.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have the movement. I love those moments. Okay, cool. So it's fine.
So
Yep.
Great. So you guys are running.
there's that. aspect.
Ermgrim just all of a sudden like stops, like skids to a halt and stops and like is looking around. You stop.
Sure.
You stop.
If he stops, I stop.
And he's like
30
looking
feet
around.
away from him.
Yeah, you're 30 feet away from. Yeah.
Look over. Oh, he stopped. Why'd you
He's
stop?
looking around. It's like. We got a perfect ambush point nearby. It's a nice big spot. We don't really cotton tunnel with the little guy, right?
What?
You kind of know they're not gonna be
You
bigger.
speak words?
Sorry,
You're the expert. What do we need
I'm
to
in
do?
my element. I started speaking Duragar again, or I started speaking Undercommon. So
Where do we go?
this way. It's a better. It opens up a bit.
Just
Do
go.
we make noise?
Yes, make noise.
Stomp, stomp, stomp,
Stomp, stomp, stomp, stomp, stomp, stomp.
Ah! Just screaming.
He gets just like hitting stuff. Like
cool.
I can't make noise.
You guys, the tunnel. Then you take a side tunnel. The tunnel opens up into a much larger area. As you're stomping in there, and it looks like there's a large cavern that then goes off. There's two ways. There's like one that's straight ahead that goes off into another larger cavern, and then there's like another side tunnel that kind of like goes around. And you see, well, none of you see. Does anybody have a superior dark vision? You do. You and Ermgrim both see through the smaller tunnel. So there's a big cavern, and then there's a small pathway that goes into another big cavern. There's the big cavern, and there's two pathways. One that goes up into a big cavern, another one goes sideways, and then probably around into the cavern again. Or you don't really know, but maybe. You see through the tunnel straight ahead because you have line of sight into the bigger cavern. On the far side to the left of the bigger cavern, you see worked stone. Like ruins of some type. Ermgrim sees that too, and I was like, that might be good. Great. We should pick a spot, or I didn't think about this, but what if there's more than one?
Then we kill them all.
All right. So we got then two big good ambush spots as far as I can see. One big one over there, so we can surround it if it ever comes up, and one big one over here. Do you want to split up in case two come, or?
I mean, how far away is it, the two?
They're about. I'd say maybe like 60 feet to 80 feet in diameter each, and they're maybe like 60 feet to 100 feet from each other, somewhere around there.
Feels like having the space to move around it would probably be better.
Right, we've got two of those, and we've got two ways to get to either one. Got flanking positions.
Yep.
So that could work.
Yep.
So who's going where?
We should probably split up.
Yeah, I agree. I can get things from further range. If the one's coming from the way that we just came, maybe you go to the front.
We should split
Yeah.
the healers too.
Yeah.
How about I show you what it looks like?
Yay!
So you came in from this way. So actually,
Oh,
here's
there's
the
bones. Okay.
Yeah, so this is, you came in from that way. You came in this way, and then you see this like big piece over here, and you see this big piece over here, and you think, you're not quite sure, you can't really see over here yet, that they may connect here too. You're not quite sure.
is like here.
But you can
All
investigate.
the
Yeah.
You guys. So you do feel rumbling. You guys have very little time to like really get like a lay of the land and orient yourself. Get a lay of the land to really decide what the plan of action is here to really understand what's going on. Make sense?
Or holes.
We have Empenua's.
Yes. Here's Pernua. Coles is in there, I believe, right?
Yep.
You have Coles?
Yep.
There you go.
It's kind of
Which
missing
space do you
hands.
actually want to be on? You're kind of
Right.
not on the space.
I just threw it down. I don't really. Conk and I can keep running.
We have an Armgrim.
Yes.
Be the bait.
Because you're good up close ish.
I'm good up close.
As long as you're not swallowing.
I had him somewhere.
So do you want to come with me? We'll keep making noise and be the bait.
I can't really make noise, but I can use you.
I'll make the noise. You just make sure I don't die.
Where did I put him? I have him somewhere.
So keep running off in this direction.
You guys do.
Let me get
You
him.
good with that?
I got it.
Conk and I'll take off and start stomping our way.
And that's the farther room, so split off and go with you guys then. To
There's your room. There you go. Cool. All right, decide quickly. Where are you going? Because things are happening. You guys are going to
Everybody
stay
else,
there.
what are you doing?
So here's the deal. You don't really know. I put this here, but you don't really know what's going on here.
Right. We're stomping, still trying to create noise to keep luring it this direction.
Okay, so you're trying to make it go this way.
Yes.
The stomping, and then this party is being a little bit more stealthy.
Yep.
And going over here. Okay, can everybody in this group please roll a stealth check for me?
or did you want to swap positions, Eleazar? Did you want to be in this
need to
group
have-
or?
If anybody else wants to be in that group, just
'Cause
Where are
I
you
was-
at?
come over that way.
I was,
Where's Ermgrim?
I was originally thinking
Because
this way
I should
it
be in the
kept
opposite
moving,
group of Ermgrim.
So yes, that's Ermgrim there.
That's Ermgrim.
Then I should go in the other group. Because we want one healer at each section.
Okay.
Because that would just not.
So is that okay right there?
It's 5,
Close range.
Right.
pretty much.
Okay. Cool.
So it's an even split.
We're gonna do average stealth checks for this group over here. Ermgrim did not do well. Pernua did okay.
Probably would have done better.
Cole is part of that group.
Yeah.
13 plus I think he had 4. Yeah, 4. 17.
17. You got it. Okay.
Do you want to move them?
Yeah. Go ahead and move them. I'm gonna say move them their speed into the thing because you have like a round before stuff starts to pop off.
Do I want to do it now or save it?
Actually, I'm gonna tell you
Coming
exactly
to?
how much
Yeah.
you have. Okay, cool. So here's the deal.
He's basically just on me at the moment.
Cole
Do you guys want
notices.
to group up, or are you trying to?
I would probably spread out I'd spread
Okay.
myself out a little bit, but Moonchild would probably be with the group.
Let me tell you one
We
thing.
haven't fought with
Cole
Moonchild,
no.
right?
We have one with the
Oh, yeah.
Umber Hulks.
So Cole right here notices with his passive perception as he's going over here that this area right here does connect to here, but it's like it's a raised thing and the ceiling goes up to about here, so you'd have to like climb up here and get over here to go over. They do connect, but there's like a small like rising of the ground that's there. So it needs to be like climbed in order to get to the other side.
We're
Make
all
sense?
standing up, so nobody's
Yeah.
picking. Nobody's microphone is picking up voice.
Oh yeah, nobody's getting picked up because everybody's standing
I
up.
adjusted mine.
Okay. So what happens? What you also do notice, Ermgrim notices this as well and looks at Cole. Cole looks at Ermgrim, points at, and Ermgrim says, "Well, that's good to know, but that," and he points up to the ceiling that's above this area, doesn't look very stable. So we gotta run with it. We can't talk about it anymore. And so here's the deal: you can pass between this area and this area via here, or the long way around here. This one is just a little bit more risky because the ceiling doesn't look as stable. So who knows what will happen? Make sense? Cool. That's right. Yeah.
This
cool.
is like a little cliff, and then there's like a tunnel that
Okay.
goes
Over it.
here.
Gotcha.
But the ceiling of this tunnel is iffy,
Okay.
a little bit loose looking.
Yep. Okay. The rumbling stops. You still have some time. You guys want to move a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay. Go. Another round. This should be tension.
I'll just
What the fuck is this
follow
with calm?
you.
I'll have you stay, 10 feet away from
Yeah.
me in case I get
20,
swallowed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or do you want to
And then I'll just
there,
gut
away from
punch
there?
it.
Okay. Then I would just
Punch it.
there we go.
Do you guys want to move yourselves?
If you guys want to, if this group wants to move, go ahead.
Cole's probably gonna try to kind of run away a little bit. He doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
Cole does not want to be
Armgrim's
involved.
going to
Worms are scary.
move as close to this as he can get to, but also that way, as far as he can get. Pretty much in a diagonal as far as he can go. That's good. Yeah. Cole is probably going to hide behind the stalactite. That makes sense. Yeah.
He's gonna hide there. It's cool.
Then, yeah,
Cole's
he doesn't really
terrified.
wanna go.
Cole's so scared.
He's better at range. It just makes more sense, you know? He only has an AC of 15. He's not dumb. He's smart. He's being strategic.
He's also cowardly.
Yes.
You're
When
Mike,
it
so
comes
we're
to
going to
bugs.
pick up your voice.
When it comes to bugs,
Cole doesn't like bugs.
technically they're annelids, but you know.
Thanks.
They are. Yes. They are not bugs.
I'm glad that I now know
Okay.
that.
He doesn't know.
Yep. Okay, so here's what happens.
Twig is on me. Oops, there.
Okay, cool. You got it. Great. Moonchild is good. So here's what happens. The rumbling stops. And then it starts up again. But it's different. It feels more like then. And Erm was like, that's not right. That's not right at all. Something's off! And he starts yelling right before something bursts through the ground right next to him. And you see
Oh God.
this thing come
The
out
fuck
of
is that?
the ground.
What the heck?
It's got ichor.
It's
Like-
this slimy
Yeah.
purple
Worm
thing
flare.
who opens
flare.
its four-paneled mouth and a bunch of tentacles come out and goes filled its maw with teeth. It goes, "That's not a worm!" And that's where we're gonna take our break.
That is not a word.
So
We'll be back in a bit, guys. Head over to the next episode.
before, like the